Fendi and the Donna, Karen, they be sharing all their money, got me wearing fly. Brother, I ain't asking, they say they love my ass and 7 G's to religion. I say no, but they keep getting.
Hi everybody, it's Snow. Today I'm going to be vlogging my very first show on Casper. I haven't showed at all in a while, but I have had a lot of lessons, so I'm sure that we'll do great today. Today's show is a flat show, and I'm pretty sure it's at Golden, so I'm going to put on my riding gear. I'm pretty sure Casper has already been brought in from his field, so then I'm going to get him, groom him, tack him up, and then we'll be ready to go on our way to the show. First I put on my show hat, then I put on my contacts and also some nice fancy gold hoops. Then I put on my show jacket. I literally bought it a week ago just for this occasion. I already had my gloves on, my breeches on, because I put them on earlier when I was home. So I walked out of that room, I turned off the lights, and I went to get Casper. I was the only one in the stables in the morning, so for some reason Casper is in Sunny's stall, but we won't talk about that. I went to put Casper's halter on. He was a little stubborn, but I ended up getting the halter on. Anyways, I'm just going to groom him and get him nice and shiny for the show. I sprayed him with some water. He loves the water, so that wasn't an issue. And then I gave him some bubbles. He loves trying to pop the bubbles with his muzzle and everything. I don't know how to word this, but it is harder to clean him because he is a cremello color and his natural coat is really white. So it's hard to get all the dirt off him so that he's that color of white again. Anyways, I gave him a quick groom. He has a lot of loose hairs. I'm assuming that the stable girl came in early this morning and got his braids done, but the tail isn't braided, and I don't have time for that, so I'm just gonna leave the tail like it is. Once I finished grooming him, it was time to start tacking him up. I started by putting on his white saddle pad. Then I put his jumping saddle on. I know it's a flat show, but yeah, that's the kind of saddle we use. I proceeded to adjust the girth and the stirrups. Then I put on some fancy leg wraps that Casper seems to like. I put on his bridle, and it has some nice shiny gems in it, so I really like it. For some reason the camera didn't record when I put on his tail bow, but I did put on his head bow, and I'm just leading him out of the stables, and we're going to trailer to Golden since that is where the show is. So we arrived. I gave him one last pet because I knew we were both really nervous for the show. I could already see the competition lining up against the wall over there, so it was pretty scary. So this is Karen. I think she is the owner of the stables here at Golden. She told me to mount over here and then to join the others that were preparing for the show. I managed to lead Casper to the mounting block, so I mounted him and we started walking towards where everyone was already lined up. There were so many people and everyone seemed really excited, just like us. Their outfits were really cute and there were some really pretty horses in the group. So I lined up and I actually started talking to a few other competitors who turned out to be really nice, and I actually made a few friends. Not long after, the judge called everybody into the arena for a warm-up so that our horses would be ready for the show. helper told me to follow them to an open space because the arena was getting really crowded and I didn't want Casper to spook around other horses. Then the judge called for everybody to line outside where we were before we came in the arena because the warm-up was over and we were about to enter the arena for the actual show. So then the judge told everybody to dismount their horses and lead them into this area because the judge was taking attendance and told everybody to spread out. We were then going to be receiving our numbers for the show. It was pretty crowded out in the field and everything, so I was trying to lead Casper into like an open space where we could just wait for our number without being too close to like too many other horses. I found an open spot and it's almost like parking a car. I snatched it up right away. I actually started talking to some of the people that I was lined up with and I made more friends, so that's great. We were all waiting anxiously. I ended up being one of the last people to get called, so my number is actually 25, and it's not one of my lucky numbers, but I don't have anything against it, so I mean, it was fine. A few minutes later, the judge told us to mount our horses and started calling people one by one to enter the arena for the official show. I was actually one of the last people to enter the arena, but everything was going pretty smoothly. The judge was doing what judges do in flat shows. They were calling moves like reverse, full circle on this gate or whatever, and of course calling different gates. Casper was actually doing really well. He wasn't like running off or bolting, so I assumed that that was a good sign. I tried to make sure that my diagonals and everything was right, and it wasn't too hard. It was just like practices. There are some obstacles though. There are actually like jumps that were set up. I'm pretty sure it's for like a hunter show afterwards or something, but I had to find my way around them. Casper actually jumped a jump in the middle of the show because he thought that he was supposed to, and I mean, it was a pretty clean jump, but he could have saved it for when we were actually going to do hunter. I'm pretty sure that cost us some deductions though, because you're not supposed to jump one of those jumps in a flat show. So I'm just scared to see how our score is going to turn out. So it just went on like that for a few minutes, and we were just doing like gates and circles, reverses, and whatnot. It was a pretty crowded arena. I am surprised so many people had signed up. I'm pretty sure someone dropped out because their horse just wasn't having it, but I'm glad that that someone wasn't me, because this is my first show on Casper and I was not willing to make a fool out of myself. Pretty soon, the judge had called everybody into the middle of the arena. I thought that something was wrong because this was my first show in a while and it was really quick. I hadn't come to think that shows would be less time than lessons, though that is obvious. So I brought Casper in and I just lined up with some other people and waited for the results. Everyone was really scared. You could tell the vibe was off, really, because the pressure was on. Anyways, I heard my name called and apparently I got 12th place. I don't even know how many people were there in total, but everyone was saying congratulations and stuff. It was a really supportive lot that I had today. They were like really nice to me, and there were even some spectators that were saying good job and stuff like that. I really appreciated it. I'm definitely sure that the jump that Casper did cost us some points, and that's why that we didn't make it into like the top 10 at least. But honestly, I wouldn't change it, and this will just encourage me to work better next time. I joined a group of people who had also already been called, and we were just applauding everybody. Pretty soon there weren't a lot of people left. I was saying great job to a lot of people because everyone was honestly great that day. There was a lot of competition for my first show in like a while, and Casper's first show entirely. I think we did pretty well and I'm still proud of ourselves. After the show though, we did have a little celebration and everyone was still cheering for each other. I decided to go home after like half an hour of just us talking to each other. Today I did make some new friends, and you know, failure leads to success. I wouldn't exactly count today as a failure though, as I think we tried our best. But I will definitely teach Casper not to jump over jumps in the arena next time. So I brought him back to the stables and I was going to give him a quick groom, untack, and then I'll bring him back to the field. It had been a long day and I could tell he was tired. I was too. So I started off by taking off the girth and the saddle, and then I proceeded to take off his saddle pad. Also, I'm sorry about the noise. People are coming into the stable. Anyways, I took off his leg wraps and also his bridle, his tail bow, and all that fun stuff. Then I fed him some bread for being a good boy today, and I groomed him all over again. Then I put on his halter and we exited the stable. Outside of the ranch, I was talking to Uncle John about Casper's progress today and how he was really good, but yeah, we did jump a jump and he had a good laugh on that. I also told him that I was going to go ahead and bring Casper back into his field, and he said that he would notify the stable girl that's taking care of the horses in that area. So I led Casper into his field. He's at the very back because he's not the best with other horses, so he's in that like small field back there. Right away, I see the ranch's dog. His name is Brownie, and he's a box terrier. He's so cute, and he always stops to say hi to the horses. For some reason, he's not scared of them at all, even though they're probably like 50 times his size, which I find really funny. It was also on a weekend, so I was not the only one that was at the ranch. There was obviously a lot of people just working with their horses and riding around and stuff like that. When I was recording, I had my camera on mute, so it didn't record any sound, sadly. I'll have to fix that next time. Anyways, I spotted a lot of the other ponies and horses. They're all so cute and enjoying this great weather. I spot some others leaving Casper's field because we take turns, and it's not just Casper's field because that wouldn't be an efficient use of space. So we do share it with some other people, but we alternate the times that the horses are in it. Usually Casper doesn't mind though. So I started talking to the stable girl, Emma, and she was letting me know that she would make sure that Casper gets his dinner today and stuff like that. Casper was already grazing. Anyways, I led him into his field. It's not like a super big field. I can call it a paddock as well, but I took off his halter and pet him one last time, and then I left to go home for the day. I was already really tired from flat to the warm-up and all of that stuff, so I went home and I took a nice long bath. It was a really nice day actually, and I now know that I need to work way harder if I want to place higher next time. Thank you guys for watching today's vlog, and I hope you enjoyed.